all to take a second and close your eyes and think back 5 years ago, exactly, to this very day 5 years ago. Think about what you were doing, where you were going, where you've been. It was a Saturday, if that helps. When I think back, I know, you guys know who I was now. I know exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing. 5 years ago today, I was at my temple in Tucson, Arizona. I was preparing for my bat mitzvah. That was on February 19th. I was a little nervous, but it was just like a practice run with my rabbi in front of the entire congregation, no big deal. Afterwards, I was feeling a little bit more confident, so as I hopped into my dad's car on the passenger side behind my mother and next to my sister, I could breathe a little easier.
Daddy.
I don't remember exactly what my sister and I were goofing around about, but we were laughing really hard. And my dad was sort of glancing, back in the rearview mirror, then back on the road. And my mom's phone started ringing. And she told us all to be a little quieter so she could answer the phone. And my sister and I sort of started laughing quietly. And my dad looked over at my mom, and then his eyes returned to the road. And there was a moment of silence in the car. The next thing that happened is my mom reached out and grabbed my dad's arm and said, "Gabrielle Giffords is dead." No one knew what was going on. We rushed back to the temple and grabbed our rabbi and said, "This is what we know and this is what should happen." And we joined together in prayer for what had happened that morning. The news was pouring in. There was all these different reports of everything that was going on. It was ridiculous. But the same basic facts that were constant was a man named Jared Lee Logner had taken a gun to a Safeway that wasn't 20 minutes from where I was and opened fire onto the people that were there to meet Gabrielle Giffords in an attempt to assassinate Gabrielle Giffords. She was shot point blank in the head, so the news, without knowing what was going on, said that she was dead on the scene. It was chaos. She was transported to a hospital nearby where she miraculously survived. Her name is now on a list of 18 people who were shot that day, 6 of whom were killed, one of which was a 9-year-old girl who was just there to meet her hero. The community mourned and wept together. Everyone rallied at the hospital where Gabrielle Giffords was recovering. I remember visiting there with my family. I wanted to see it. I had heard so much about this place that out of this tragedy came this beautiful rally of hope, and I wanted to go. So we went, and we walked around. There were piles of posters and handmade signs, stuffed animals, get well cards everywhere. And I had this little fortune that I don't remember exactly what it said, but it said something beautiful about hope. So I sort of just put it in the grass, and we left. And I was 12, but I was awestruck by the amount of love that could come out of a community that was so broken. This tragedy made the community so much stronger. Ever since then, Tucson schools have taken a moment of silence at 11 a.m. on January 8th. Now this story has motivated movements. Stories like mine have motivated different movements and different ideas, different actions, especially in the reform movement. I am so blessed and honored to say that my good friend Jeremy Kronig, who is the president of the North American Federation for Temple Youth, has declared gun violence prevention to be a priority in NIFTY this year. And President Obama has declared executive action as of this Wednesday. There are so many different things that have happened nationwide to prevent mass shootings. Most of them have happened extremely recently, but stuff's been happening. It's 2015. Well, it's 2016 now, but in 2015. There were more shootings than there were days in the year. If people don't call this an epidemic, then I don't know what to call it. I have lived with the knowledge that gun violence is a threat to life since I was 12. It has driven me to write letters to Congress and to get involved through NIFTY as a way to take action against such a major issue. And I'm so honored and blessed to stand with more than 10,000 teenagers united against gun violence prevention, against gun violence. I'm even more proud to say that we've actually made a difference.